Hello, and thank you for watching another ADAS calibration video. My name is Brian, and I'm with SmartSafe's Technical Support and Training Group. Today we have here a 2022 Honda Civic Sport, and we'll be calibrating the front camera using our ADAS Mobile and our iSmartLink 801 display tablet. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, with the VCI plugged into the OBD2 port, and the key is already in ignition position 2. We'll go ahead and start the ADAS calibration. And we're connecting up to the vehicle. We'll select USA for the area. And we're getting back the VIN information. So we'll go ahead and start with our ADAS system scan. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and start with our pre-repair report. And then we'll go into the actual calibration function. We'll select front camera calibration, static camera aiming, since we're doing the static setup here. And since we're using the mobile frame, we'll select ADAS Mobile. And we have our setup instructions. So first thing we need to do is we need to create a center line with the vehicle. So we're going to go ahead and use a plumb bomb and measure points A and B, A on the front of the vehicle, B on the rear. So we'll go ahead and start that now. Using our plumb bomb, we'll go ahead and find the center on the front of the vehicle. Okay. Here at the rear of the vehicle, we're going to go ahead and find our center line at point B. And then we'll go ahead and place our 5-line laser onto the point. And then using our auxiliary mirror, we'll go ahead and look for the laser to match it up with point A at the front of the vehicle. Okay. Next, we'll place our L-type positioning bracket at the center of the hub on the front wheel. This will be used to measure the distance from the vehicle to the calibration frame. Our next step is to go ahead and align the frame to the 5-line laser using the cross laser on the frame. So we'll turn that on, And then we'll go ahead and line it up with the laser coming from, with the line coming from the 5-line laser. Once we have that, we'll go ahead and lock our frame down, just for temporary, and then we'll go ahead and measure the next point. So here we're going to go ahead and look for, we want 1,000 millimeters for our next target pad, so we'll put that right here. And then we'll do the same over here in the front, but we'll need to use the 5-line laser. Next, we're going to move the 5-line laser from point A to point A1. And then we'll line that up to point A. To give us now the P1 line. Okay, now that we've established our point A1 to our point E1, we'll go ahead and find the 4,000 millimeters, which is where we will place our stand. So we'll place our marker here using our 5-line laser to find the position and place our marker at 4,000 millimeters. Next, Next, we'll move our 5-line laser over to point C1. And line it up to our 2 points so that we can find our point C perpendicular with our frame. And you can see that right there. This is where we'll position our frame. Okay, our next step is to move our frame to the determined position C, so we'll go ahead and do that. And we'll get that lined up. And we can fine tune it, but we'll go ahead and lock this down here. And then our next step is to make sure that our frame is level. So it looks like we're a little off on this side here, so I'll make an adjustment by turning the caster. And looks like we've got it now. So I'll go ahead and lock down this caster, and we can move on to our next position, or our next step, that is. And we'll go ahead and fine tune the frame to make sure it's centered on the Honda H logo there and our 2 points. Okay, our next step is to raise the height of the frame. So once again, making sure everything's lined up, we'll go ahead and move the frame up 1,500 millimeters. So we'll turn on our height laser. And we'll just crank that up to 1,500. We're about 1,300 right now. I'm going to go ahead and be careful and not to move the frame around too much, but we will always double check our position once we have everything lined up. $14.98, $14.99, $1,500. Okay. All right, so we have our height set. So our next step here is to go ahead and place the targets. For this particular Honda, we'll be using the LAM 0104 left and right, and they will be placed at 630 millimeters from center. So we'll make sure those are set. 630, 630, and I'll go ahead and get the targets. So this is the right. We'll position it here. Right being the passenger side. And this one is the left for the driver's side. We'll make sure those are squared away. We'll go ahead and check our center again, make sure everything is still lined up. Everything looks good there, so we'll go ahead and turn off our central laser. And then our next step is to calibrate. Okay, now that the calibration frame is all set up, we're ready to calibrate. I'll go ahead and press on the calibrate button. But before we finish through the step, we have to add one value to the tablet. We need to measure the wheel arch, from the wheel arch to the ground on both sides, and take an average of the two. So we'll go ahead and measure that. And I've already measured it, but just for the sake of the video, I will show you how it's done. Just simply get your tape measure, be at the center of the hub, and measure it at the lip of the wheel well here. So I'm coming in here at 670, and earlier I measured the other side at 675. So our average is going to be 673. So I'll go ahead and input the value, and then I'll press OK. It's calibrating. And we have a successful static calibration. So I'll go ahead and press OK. It's asking me to turn the ignition off. I'll press OK. And it's asking me to turn the ignition back on. And then I'll press OK. And that last step here is to go ahead and confirm the ADAS report, so I'll say OK. And then we'll go ahead and generate a post-repair report, but first we'll do a scan to make sure that we have no DTCs. Okay, the scan came back clean, so we'll go ahead and generate our post-repair report. So I'll click on Report. I'll change the report type to Post-Repair. I will click on Add to add the pre-repair, as well as the ADAS diagnostic scan reports to combine them into the post-repair, and press OK. And there we have our completed post-repair report. So this completes the calibration for this vehicle. We hope that you found the video helpful, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.